Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I do have to start out by letting you know why I look a little crazy right now. I only have my foundation and eyebrows on right now because I am going to be doing a first impressions and like try on and wear test of a bunch of Kylie Cosmetics products. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So because I bought the Perfect Pink set, or Perfect Pink collection. It came with a highlighter, a blush, an eyeshadow palette, a Kylie lip kit, and also a lip gloss. So I didn't put any of these types of products on so that we can try these on as we go. So I did go ahead and put on some foundation and brows and bronzer as well because I don't have any of those products from here. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Before I get into actually starting the try on and everything, I wanted to let you know why I wanted to do this video and why I made this purchase and all of that good stuff. So first of all, there has been so much hype around these Kylie products, just the whole collection. Every single item that she releases, as soon as she releases it, it sells out immediately, and it's like it's difficult to get your hands on, and there's just a lot of hype around them. And I kind of get the feeling that the hype has more to do with her name than it does with the actual quality of the products, because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on the quality of the products. So why did I buy it? Just because at this point I just became so curious. I needed to know for myself, are they really worth all this hype, or is it just because of her name? So as far as Kylie goes, I feel like I do have to give this disclaimer because I feel like there's a lot of bias with reviews on her products because a lot of people either really love her or they really hate her. And depending on your opinion of her, I feel like that is going to affect your opinion on her products that she makes. So I don't really have an opinion on Kylie Jenner. I think she's a very smart businesswoman. I think that her whole family are extremely smart business people, and they've really grown themselves as brands. And I think that is very impressive. But as far as who she is and all of that, I really don't have an opinion. I'm not a huge fan of her, but I'm also don't really dislike her. I just think she's another person, and I really don't have an opinion on her in particular. So that's why I wanted to do this review. I really wanted this to be an unbiased review of just the makeup, not the brand, not Kylie herself, but just the makeup. Working at Sephora and owning a very large collection of high-end makeup myself, I have a lot of experience with high-end makeup, and she does price her collection very competitive with high-end brands rather than drugstores. So I feel like I can give a very unbiased opinion as to whether or not this is worth the hype and worth the money. Okay, so that is why I wanted to do this video. So how this video is gonna work, I'm gonna start applying my makeup, and as I'm going, this is gonna be like a chit chat, get ready with me style. Hopefully this video is not too long, but I really don't know how long this will take. But I'll kind of give you my opinion as we're going, and then I'm also going to be doing a wear test so you guys can actually see how they apply, how they perform, and whether or not they last all day. So let's go ahead and start. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and start with the blush and the highlight. I'll just go ahead and finish my complexion, and then we'll move on to eyes. So the blush that came in this kit is the shade Barely Legal. Packaging, I think her packaging is good. I don't have any complaints as far as packaging goes. I think her signature drips on everything I think is super cute. I think it's a good idea. A lot of companies are stealing that idea, by the way. I've seen this copied by a lot of other companies, but I really do like that. I think it's cute. So yeah, let's go ahead and start applying. So I'm gonna grab a blush brush, and I'm going to be using this angled blush brush. I don't know the brand of this because it is rubbed off and I can't remember. I think it's a Morphe one or something like that. Not sure, but we're gonna go ahead and apply the blush to start. So I'm gonna dip my brush. Doesn't look like very much powder is coming up, but tap off the excess. Okay, I think it's very hardly pressed because not very much powder is coming up. Like even when I really rub my finger hard, I'm barely getting any. So I feel like this actually reminds me of the Tarte blushes as far as how much pigment you're getting on your brush and how hardly pressed it is. But I mean, blush is one of those things that you don't want it to go on too pigmented anyways. I think it's better to go on lighter and build it up so you don't have like a crazy amount of blush on. So yeah, we're gonna move on from there. I think that's a nice neutral color. I don't have any problems with that blush. Next, we're gonna go ahead and apply the highlight. And this one came with the shade Cotton Candy Cream. So I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on her highlights. By the way, I did check this already immediately to make sure there was an actual product in the pan because I heard a lot of people were missing their product. A lot of people said these are super subtle, which I don't mind a subtle highlight. At the age of 36, sometimes a subtle highlight is a nice thing. That blush got a little high right there, didn't it? I don't know about that one, you guys. It seems like it's a little powdery. I don't mind the color, and I actually don't mind the intensity. I feel like it's a perfect amount of intensity, and it's definitely buildable. But it does feel a little powdery, so I'm a little bit apprehensive. I feel like maybe this won't last very long throughout the day, but we'll do some check-ins, so we'll find out. So yeah, that's the only place I'm going to apply it, maybe a little bit right on my Cupid's bow. I don't typically highlight my nose because I got a pointy nose as it is. So we'll move on. Okay, so far they're okay. Nothing standing out as super special. Let's move on to this. This is the one that I really wanted to try. This is the Eyeshadow palette in the burgundy shade. Of all of the eyeshadow palettes that she's done, this is the one that I've heard the best reviews on, so I was really excited when I saw this kit came with this one because it's the one that I would have wanted to try. And this is what the inside looks like. It doesn't have a mirror, which is kind of funny because actually both of those face products did have a mirror, but the eyeshadow palette doesn't, which I would rather see it the other way around. I don't really need a mirror with my face products, but with an eyeshadow palette, I find it useful. So that is one thing about the packaging on this particular item that I would have liked to see different. But yeah, you get these 9 eyeshadows in here. They're all very warm tone shades. There's a lot of burgundy in here, obviously, as the name suggests. There are some mattes, it looks like, and some more metallic finishes. This one looks like it might be a satin finish. So we are gonna go ahead and do an eye look with this. And so I'm gonna grab this Morphe brush right here. This is the crease blender brush from Morphe. And then I am going to, I'm gonna start with this shade right here. So let me hold it upside right. So the middle shade on the top row, I'm gonna start with that. It is kind of like a camel color. And what I'm gonna do is just work that into my crease and slightly above my crease. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but I do have a hooded eye, so I do find that I need to almost like contour my eye a little bit to create some dimension so that my crease doesn't get completely lost by the hood on my eye. So that's what I'm doing right now. Wow, it's actually, I'm actually a little bit impressed so far. This is a matte shade, obviously. I like the amount of pigment I'm getting from it, but it is easy to blend. I don't find that it's like hard or difficult to blend. By the way, I should mention I did prep my eyelids already with a primer, and I did set it down too. Let me show you what I used. This is the primer I used from Kylie Cosmetics. It almost goes on like a lid concealer, so it does cancel out the discoloration I have on my eyelid. And then I set it down with the Wet n Wild Single Shadow and Brulee. I've been using that combination of eyelid primer for some time now, so I know it performs well. So I wanted to use something that I was familiar with to make sure that the eyeshadows, like I had, you know, a good comparison of how they actually perform. So, but yeah, I'm really actually liking the way this is going on and how it is blending. So far, that shade in particular I'm happy with. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. And by the way, I did want to let you guys know this kit that I purchased, I did buy this with my own money. It was $125 for this set, which I thought was a good way to try it because I wanted to do this video for you guys. I was planning to do a video where I tried a bunch of her products, and when I went on her website and saw the kit, I was like, that's perfect. It has everything in there that, like, one of each of the products that she's released, so I can try basically the whole collection and let you guys know what I thought. And as I mentioned, this was the eyeshadow palette I wanted and it was in the kit. So that's the reason I purchased this particular kit. Also, I had really wanted to get some of the highlighters or Kylighters and they were sold out of all of the shades. So the only way I could get it was in this kit. So that is what I did. Last time I checked, it was still available on the site. I don't know if it has sold out now, but I will go ahead and link it below just in case you want to check it out. All right, so far I'm really enjoying this. Let's go ahead and start creating a little bit more depth. I'm gonna grab a smaller blending brush. This one here is from Sigma. This is the E25. What I'm gonna do is take this shade right here, which is almost like a really light matte burgundy, almost like a mauve-y burgundy color, not a super dark burgundy, and I'm going to start working that more directly into my crease, starting on the outer corner, just to create a little more dimension and depth. Wow. I have to say I'm surprised. I was a little skeptical. I felt like maybe she was just getting the hype on her products based on her name, but so far this eyeshadow palette, I'm actually really liking it so far, just the application process at least, but we have to see. You know, a lot of times eyeshadows apply very nicely, but they might start looking muddy after a few hours. So we'll see how it wears. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I feel like mattes are the hardest thing to get right. So if a brand can do a matte well, then usually their shimmers are gonna be good, but we'll find out in a second because I'm gonna use some shimmery shades on my lid because I want to try, you know, all the different formulas in this palette. I'm gonna try to use as many eyeshadows from this palette as I can to really, really test it out. It's not blending quite as nicely on this side. I might have just gotten a little more on my brush than I wanted to. So I'm gonna build up this side just to get it a little bit more even. And then I'm actually gonna switch back to my larger brush just to soften it up a bit. I want it a little bit softer. I did want to mention too, it is kicking up a lot of powder. I don't know if you guys can see that on my palette. As I'm dipping my brush, it is kicking up a lot of powder. So it is a more like a powdery formula, which I don't mind, but you might find if you don't like working with a formula that has a lot of fallout, you might not like this, and you might find that you need to apply your foundation after you do your eyes. Okay, so there's not really a good highlighting shade in here, I just realized, as far as like a brow bone highlight. So I think I'm gonna use this. It looks a little dark to be a highlight for my brow bone, but I'm gonna see if I can make it work just because I want to use only this palette on my eyes. So that is the closest thing I've got in here to a brow bone highlight, so I'm just gonna be really light-handed while I apply this. It's actually not too dark. It's actually going on okay. If you're any fairer than I am though, that would not work for you, but it actually is going on all right. Okay. Okay, next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this pencil brush. This is a very old pencil brush that I have. What I'm gonna do now is apply this reddish shade underneath my eye first, and then I'm gonna mix another color in. And I'm just gonna take this right on my lower lash line just to add a little bit of smokiness underneath the eye. And then I like to kind of bring it up and blend it together with my outer corner just to make sure everything is cohesive. Okay, and then next what I'm going to do is take this darker burgundy shade from the other corner on the bottom here, and I'm going to blend that in with that last shade just on the outer part of my lower lash line to deepen it up a bit. Okay, now that I have that, I'm going to go back to this little angled brush from e.l.f. That's the one I used underneath my eyebrow, by the way. And I'm going to take that same shade that I put underneath my eyebrow, and I'm just going to put that in my inner corner and just a little bit on my lower lash line, just on this first little bit. By the way, my daughter is homesick today, so if you hear her talking in the background, she's watching her videos behind me. Lexi, say hi.
Hi.
What you watching?
Actually playing Toga Vacation.
Oh, she's playing Toga Vacation. Okay, so I have that all done now. So far, I really do like the way everything is coming together. I'm trying to decide on the lid shade. I wanted to put a shimmer on my lid. My choices for a shimmery lid shade are just this one, and that one. I don't want to do that because that's too close to what I have on the outer corner and it's just going to look muddy and blended together. So I'm going to go with one of these two. Let me swatch them and see which one. Whew. They're both a little darker than I would like to go on my lid. I don't know, guys. Like, I feel like it's missing a shade here. Why? Okay. Do you guys see that? Look at that. What happened there? Let me fix that. It looks like it got a little patchy on this side. I don't know if that was an application error. So I'm going to fix that real quick before we move on. Yeah, it got patchy on this side too. What the heck? Okay. Maybe I'm not loving this as much as I thought I was. Okay, where did my other brush go? I'm going to blend that back out a bit because it got a little patchy. I don't know what happened there. Huh. Okay. It's only been a couple minutes. It's not supposed to do that. Okay. I like the way it looks again. So you know what I think I'm going to do, because I don't want to add anything too dark on my eyelid. And again, I feel like they're missing a shade between these two, something for a lid shade. So I'm actually going to use this as my lid shade. It's a little brighter than I wanted to do, but they don't really have an in-between choice. So I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to apply that on my eyelid. And then actually I'm going to take the shimmery burgundy shade and blend it out with the matte that I have on the outer part. I'll show you guys what I'm planning to do just to get it all to match together, because otherwise I feel like there's too much contrast there. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to this Sigma brush real quick, and I'm actually going to pick up this shade here, which is the shimmery cranberry shade, and I'm going to blend those two together using that shade. I don't even see it applying. Where is it? There we go. Same thing on the other side. It's kind of disappearing on my brush. You know, the more I'm using this eyeshadow palette, the formula of this really reminds me of the BH Cosmetics Carly Bybel palette, if you guys have tried that. All right, so that is what I'm gonna do for the eye look. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up view. I think it's okay. I don't think it's fantastic. I definitely have eyeshadows that perform better than this, but it's not awful. All right, so I'm gonna finish up my eyes real quick off camera because I don't have any Kylie products for liners or mascara, so I'm gonna do that off camera. All right, you guys, so I finished putting on my eyeliner and mascara. By the way, I just used my Physicians Formula Eye Booster liner and my Urban Decay Perversion mascara. So that is how the eye look turned out. I have to say I'm not mad at it. I think it is pretty. I do like it. So we will see how long this wears, but that's how it looks right now. All right, now we are going to move on to the lips. So for the lips, I decided I'm going to just use the lip kit. I'm not going to apply this gloss just because lip gloss does not get along very well with liquid lipstick, so I'd rather try these products out and then save this for later. So we're going to apply the Kylie lip kit, and the one that came in this set is called Coco K, which I think is also the most popular one. And by the way, the gloss that came with the set is Damn Gina. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the lip liner first. And I did prep my lips this morning by exfoliating them and applying a lip balm, but I have wiped away the excess, so my lips are just dry. It's hard to talk while I'm doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and line them and fill them in just slightly. And I keep looking down here, by the way, because that is where my mirror is set up. Okay, so I went ahead and applied that. The color's nice. It's just like a pinky nude color, very basic. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply the liquid lipstick. I'm a little nervous about this because I've heard so many mixed reviews. It smells like cake. I like the smell, like vanilla cake. It does go on really nicely. It's definitely more of a liquidy type of formulation. We'll see once it dries down how it feels. Right now it just feels wet. Once it dries down, I'll be able to tell if it's going to be a drying formulation or not. I don't necessarily know that I love the pairing of this color with the eye look that I have on today, but that's what came in the kit, so we are going to go with it. I'm not really going anywhere today anyways. I'm staying home taking care of the little one. I'm actually going to be filming some more videos today, so this is yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and go about my day now, and we're going to try this out and see how it wears, and I will be doing check-ins. As I mentioned, I'm not really going anywhere, but I'm going to be very busy at home today. I have a lot of cleaning to do, I have laundry to do, dishes, cooking, I'm going to be filming another video, so I am going to be running around doing a lot. Just not really going anywhere. So we'll see. I think what I'll do, right now it is 9:45 in the morning, and I think I will do my first check-in after I eat lunch, so that way you can see how the liquid lipstick wears after a meal. It is dry now, so let me see real quick. I got makeup on my fingers. Let me see real quick. So here's a clean finger right here. It is definitely non-transferable, so it feels a little dry right now, but I've only had it on a few minutes. I feel like you have to have it on for a good, 20 minutes to really know if it's going to be super drying or not. So I will definitely be doing some check-ins, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, you guys, I wanted to do my first check-in because we just finished eating lunch. It's still pretty early. It's only 11:30 right now. We had an early lunch because Lexi and I were hungry today. So anyway, I just wanted to do a quick check-in. So first of all, my eyeshadow, let me get close so you guys can see it. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same, I feel like. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. If anything, it might have almost like settled a little bit where it like looks more blended than it originally did, but it doesn't look muddy or anything, so that's good. And then my lipstick, I'm actually feeling like it's actually pretty comfortable. I thought it'd be super drying. I thought it would be like the ColourPop formulation where they just feel like stretching your lips and like that really cracky, crumbly feeling. I don't feel like that too much. I feel a little bit right in the center of my lips, but my lips are pretty notoriously dry. So any liquid lipstick is gonna feel a little bit drying, but these, or this one in particular, so far hasn't been too bad. I did eat lunch, as I mentioned. I had some leftover lasagna for lunch, which is not the best type of food to eat with a liquid lipstick on because it can be a little bit kind of greasy. So I do feel like this inside part might have worn away a little bit, but I feel like that was from the food. I also had a cup of coffee and I've been drinking water from a thermos all day. So yeah, so far a few hours into it after eating a very greasy meal, it looks okay. Okay guys, I want to do my final update now. It's only 2 o'clock right now. But I'm gonna do the final update just because I feel like at this point with any liquid lipstick, when it starts to look like this, I just take it off and start over again with something more hydrating. So I'm gonna get close so you guys can see it. As far as the eyeshadow though, I don't know, it's performing fine, I guess. It's definitely not my absolute favorite formulation for a eyeshadow, but it's okay. I don't think it's worth the hype though. And as far as like all the products, I don't feel like any of them are necessarily worth all this hype. None of them have blown me away. None of them have been bad. I just don't think that they're fantastic. They're just kind of middle of the road, average products, and definitely not worth all of the hype and the selling out. I'm pretty sure, or not pretty sure, I'm very confident that that is all just because of her name. But I did want to mention also the blush and highlight are pretty much looking the same. I don't feel like they've faded at all. I've only had this makeup on though, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 1, about 4.5 hours, so not a very long time. But the lipstick, that's what I want to show you guys. I'm gonna get close so you can see. So as of right now, it's starting to crack really bad. Not only is it cracking, but the inner part of my lip right here, it still has the color, but it's changed color. So the outer looks more mauvey, kind of mauvey purpley, and the inner part looks more peachy. Can you guys see that? My lights are so blinding. Let me see if I can, there. Can you guys see? It almost looks ombre, but it's the same lip color. It just kind of faded strange. So, and it is getting extremely cracked and very uncomfortable, just feels dry. I keep wanting to lick my lips. I keep wanting to kind of rub it away. So I'm just gonna remove it at this point. I feel like you guys get the idea. This is really similar formulation to like the ColourPop liquid lipsticks or like the Kat Von D ones. Very liquidy, very drying. The lighter colors I feel like I can get away with better because even though it's cracking, you can't really see it as much, but with a bolder color or like a bright red or something like that or a darker color, you're really gonna be able to see this cracking because the color's a lot different than your natural lip color. So with this one, it's not that different from my natural lip color, so it doesn't really show as much. So anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about, but I did wanna go ahead and wrap this up because I wanna take this lip product off. It is driving me crazy, but hopefully that gives you guys a good idea for how it wears. And as I mentioned, my overall opinion is that it's just not worth the hype. I probably won't purchase any more products from her line. I don't know, maybe someday in the future if she comes up with something that I'm really interested in, but at this point, I feel like you guys can skip these. They're not really that fantastic. They're not really worth the hype in my opinion. The only thing I didn't get a chance to try was this lip gloss, which I will try this at a later time and let you guys know whether or not I like it. I haven't even opened it. Let's see what it looks like real quick. It's glittery. So anyway, I'll try that later and I'll let you guys know about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Is it worth the hype? Kind of review, try on, everything all in one. And Lexi's here. Say hi again, Lex.
Hi.
She brought me some cake. But if you guys have questions or comments, just leave them down below. I'd be happy to answer those. So, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.